What's up, everybody? I am Sniggenhoff, and we are back playing some Tyranny today. In the last episode, we basically finished up Act 1, we laid claim to this tower, and now we're going to see what happens after that. Our the fifth eye, the not leader of the Scarlet Corps, but like the first mate, the commander, sure. Our squabbles over delayed siege have no doubt evolved into a respectable civil war. Voices of Narat will want to discuss the matter, but now he's pulled back to the basic cacophony. I suggest you don't keep him waiting. The last time someone left the voice of the rat waiting, he pulled the skin off their hand and moved their bones into the shape of a glaring eye. Needless to say, it didn't heal well. I'll join you at the cacophony as soon as I speak with Tunon. Do that. The voices of Narat loves to entertain new guests. I'm sure he'll find you quite diverting. Be seeing you, Fatebinder. The dizzying energy from the spire falters. Whatever force awoke the powers that reside here gutters and fades, though a faint hum persists at the sculpture at the center. What? My exit just vanished. It was just here. I don't know what just happened. It's all new to me. The humming from the curious sculpture pulses and builds in volume as if to draw your attention. On closer inspection, a series of symbols carved around the base of the structure come into view. One symbol pulses with a blue-white glow. The pattern resembles the glowing lines of light seen on the floor of Ascension Hall moments before you found yourself transported above the clouds. As you stare at the symbol, the chill of the wind abates and your chest swells with warmth. The air finally feels welcoming. Your lungs sated at last. I'd be careful going any closer. The whole tower is humming with energies that we don't understand. Now, I didn't say back away. Let's just find out what it does. Let's just be cautious. You state your claim on the tower and everything in it. Whatever the sculpture is, it belongs to you. I can feel power running through this place. You can sense the magic of the spire even from down below. But up here, this close to the axis of the spire, the deluge of energy is numbing. What is this thing? The surface of the stone edifice trembles at your words. For a brief moment, the solid rock undulates, the same motion as a quiet pond rippled by the rain. An echo bounces back from afar. Your voice is distorted and unfamiliar. Is this thing? I'm sure that's how it's supposed to sound. Your voice, for a moment there, it sounded like a song. The sculpture is once again still. There's a rush of warmth through your body, a jolt of enervation that steadies your balance. A barrage of tactile sensation floods your mind as you feel footsteps and wind, but not on your face or your limbs. A moment later, the flood of imagination begins to make sense. You are feeling the wind against the spire, and even the weight of your own feet, as if the spire were a second spine. With this connection made, you feel your awareness pull from this place, not as a traveler, but as one, glimpsing the world from impossibly far away. In this moment, there is nothing you cannot see, though you see it nearly all at once in a flood of sensation that is difficult to parse. You see a spire at the crossing of an ancient stone structure, two walls extending off into the distance. At the base of this eternal spire, settlers and merchants act in every way unconcerned, toiling under the observation of unforgiving taskmasters. As the shadow of the spire falls over them, the mood changes. The settlers pause in shared unease and look up at the sky, toward you. Though you haven't seen it in person, you are certain this is a vision of Lethian's crossing, for nowhere else are the Tearsmen brave or desperate enough to settle at the intersection of bane-ridden old walls. Near this settlement, built to the joining of the ancient walls, you see a breach in the massive masonry, a cleft into the forbidden, hidden realm within the old walls. Drift closer to the spire, or drift into the old wall's entrance? Go to closer to the spire. The spire feels familiar to the one you now occupy, though instead of radiating arcane life, it reeks of crust, dust, and crumbling stone, a branch withering once pulled from its tree. It reaches for you with a barely perceptible tug. Drift into the entrance. Shadows envelop you, muting all sound and vision with slight delay. There is a feeling of perversion, of wrongness. Whatever arcane power is allowing your senses to drift free of your body seems to falter in this place. Figures haunt the stone halls, drifting emanations of cloud, claw, and fang. They pay you no heed, but you fear them all the same. In the depths of this forbidden place, the deepest chamber is bathed in light. An arcane symbol emanates the floor, though the details hurt your eyes when you focus. With a gentle tug, your focus pulls back to a new horizon, though it takes you a moment to recognize it as Vendrian's well. You've returned to the awareness of your immediate surroundings. The effect leaves you unsteady on your feet. The link between you and the spire recedes. The arcane bond is still present, but the mystical energies, for the moment, are quiet. Your body flooded with excitement and fatigue. It's unclear whether the mystic connection is strengthening you or siphoning. The tower offers nothing by way of answer, and you know that asking would only yield more silence and mystery. The deluge of sensation is over, but the positions of the spires still linger in your mind. From your vantage point atop the mountain spire, you can easily spot the mysterious structures, each of them rising high above their distant surroundings. Did you sense that? The ripples are everywhere. When you move, the magic of this place stirs and churns. That portal over there, those burning braziers, braziers, they all definitely braziers. They all grow more intense as you approach. I think it's responding to your presence. Before we get ahead of ourselves, it's worth remembering that you ended Kairos' edict. That's no small feat. Maybe your connection to this place is related. Either way, sounds like something for the arcane-minded to investigate. Speak with me after you see Tunon, Fatebinder. The disfavored need to be shown their place. If a dog acts up, use a firm hand to put it back down. If we are to succeed in the tiers, we must work quickly. I will be waiting. Alright, so we got Ebb, who's just leveled up. But let's look at the new Spire screen. So we have this Spire here. There's 5 other Spires, or Spire upgrades. Probably Spire upgrades. I'm not sure. Not sure how this whole thing works. Edicts. That was the Edict of Fire, Edict of Storms, Edict of Stone, and then there was no edict active in this region, although there could have been if we hadn't succeeded. No edict active there either. Yeah, these are undiscovered spires. We have the mysterious device, which has no maintenance costs, and then we can hire merchants and other trainers to be up here as well. I would like to hire someone who specializes in thrown weapons. So hire that guy. What is this? We have a scroll. We don't have an iron ingot. We kind of gave that away. I don't know what these are for either. Lysandra, a skill trainer who teaches control life, control vigor, control atrophy, control grave light, and the use of magic staff. And we have her because of our conquest. We can hire a smith who regularly produces weapons, an old beastwoman who provides food, a careful scavenger with many unique items, trainers, a merchant with a motley collection of items. He will also create camping supplies periodically. That probably wouldn't be terrible. Let's get this guy up here. We can have 6 recruits. Let's have the person who creates camping supplies. And let me see about selling some of my stuff. Are they up here or are they down below? Sculpture doesn't respond to your touch. Want to see what these merchants have. Train some. Level up. Probably shouldn't slurp my drink like that when I'm recording. Let me go back up to the top. I think they're up there. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. At least twice. Yeah. Corpse Eye. Well, if it ain't the big bad boss, come to take a look at my wares. See what you have in stock. Okay, so we got some exquisite stuff. A bow and a sword. A scythe, a superior scythe. A sword, but Crimson Spear armor is heavy armor. Scarlet Fury armor is leather armor. I also don't have enough money for any of these. Let me see what I want to sell. It's a fine greatsword. I mean, all the common stuff we can definitely sell. I think there's no reason to really keep that around. The fine stuff we may at least want to take a look at before we give it away. I definitely, well, Wonder if I should keep a set of heavy armor on me, at least. Yeah. Probably wouldn't be the worst idea in the world in case we do find a tank somewhere along the way. This has something to do with the tower, so we're not going to sell that. And then we can definitely just dump all this stuff. Get like 42 copper out of that. See your armor. Do you have any light armor that I would be interested in? I mean, these are... Give me plus 1% deflection, 6% precision. Don't care about unarmed DPS. And we become enraged on kill. That's not bad. But they're pretty expensive. I don't know if I want to spend the money on those right now, at least. Weapons. You don't really have anything I'm interested in terms of weapons. You. I'd like to train. Train me in thrown weapons. Just gonna keep training that. I like the idea of using thrown weapons. I don't know. Didn't I bring somebody else up here? Yes, Revos. You will create camping supplies periodically, I believe. You just tried to steal my stuff. Didn't mean anything by it, I promise. I just wanted to see how many rings you had, so I could adjust my prices accordingly. Revos at your service. Have come to possession of some items that might be of interest. Are these stolen? No. In the sense that they aren't stolen, but yes, in the sense that I'm not entirely licensed. Don't presume to know. Okay, I can get Fate Binder of Tunon armor, which is leather armor. It's superior. It's also still pretty expensive. Get some scrolls. Get these. Okay, so these 5 things are spire, something for the spire, because they're over here. But I don't know what they're for. But it's good to know that he sells them. Let me level her up really quick. More spell strength? Yeah. How many times do you level up? Jeez, you level up a lot. Teleport across the battlefield. Enemies near her cast and destination targets are hit with Gravelight attack that drains health. I think Gravelight is the weapon she uses. No, that's called Sinji. Sizgi. I don't know. Get a bonus to all frost damage dealt. That's not bad. Have afflictions to her have the duration reduced, or summon a globe of water surround the target's head, leaving them to slowly drown. All 3, well, these 2 definitely seem good. I'm kind of going to build her as like a DPS character. I guess it's kind of like whether I want her to be like a necromancer type. I would assume that's what Gravelight means. Or like death magic, something like that. Or if I want her to be the water mage. Let's go ahead and build her water mage. That and that. Elemental Fury there. Repelling Wave actually seems really good. While Ebb is not taking damage, her recovery time is reduced and she strikes twice with her normal attacks being hit. Removes this bonus for a few seconds. That's not bad. Gain a bonus to magic damage dealt by magic staves. Let's go with that. Quests, Stirring Visions. Investigate the Spire in Lethian's Crossing. And travel to Tunon in the Bastard City. And then the Scarlet Chorus likes us a lot more. We now have Merciless, which gives us a passive 5% hit precision on targets below 35% health. And Vendrian's Guard, we have now Drain Strength as a spell. 2 Resolve, 2 Finesse, and 2 Might for 20 seconds. That's pretty cool. Because Vendrian's Guard hate us a lot. So, that is that. Let's go ahead and skedaddle. Although we could talk to our party members real quick. Why not? Lore episode.
In theory, I'm supposed to be observing history and not getting myself wrapped into it. All the same, this is the thrill of a lifetime. Rarely does one stand so close to monumental moments in the making. For the moment, the Scarlet Chorus could be considered an ally. Let us hope the Archon of Secrets continues to find you entertaining enough to remain friends. The Disfavored, on the other hand, will be a certain threat. The Civil War has removed Ash's pretense to play well with others. So, I must ask, are you planning on taking sides in the Civil War? Or do you have other plans?
I'm not sure what I want to say here. I kind of want to go with, like, I'm a servant of the Archon of Justice. Kind of be the neutral character. And, or I'm going to say, as long as it suits my purpose, I'll work with the Scarlet Chorus. I mean, I kind of have allied myself with the Scarlet Chorus. So, I'll say that.
While Graven Ash knows more about war, I contend the Voices of Narad knows more about victory. The Scarlet Chorus has grown with each passing year.
In many ways, the end of the conquest is largely an abstraction. Eventually, the tears will be those who have joined the chorus and the corpses of those who refused. Best to be on the living side of that future.
Your fatalism does you credit, Scholar. Doesn't it feel good to be on the winning side for a change?
Whatever you do next, consider that many eyes will be upon you. For you have both delivered and taken away the Overlord's edicts, and few will know how to make sense of the latter. You are an exception the Archons cannot afford to ignore. They will likely aim to control or destroy you.
So, the Scarlet Chorus and Disfavored are at each other's throats. Can't say I didn't see that coming, but the Archons might have waited until one war was over before they started another. Fighting with the Scarlet Chorus? Oh, never doubt yourself for backing the winning team. The Chorus has the best chance of succeeding in the tiers. For all their skill, the Disfavored are too stubborn by far. Who can say? War is all about compromising your morals, deciding who lives and dies. What seems like a mistake turns into your greatest call down the road. I'll say this much, our time together is anything but dull. My blades are yours for as long as you'll have me.
Salutations, Fatebinder. Or should I now call you Lord of Vendrian's Well? The Spire King? Prince of the Suggestive Vertical Slab.
Prince of the Suggestive Vertical Slab, 100%.
So if I might ask, what is your plan now? The edict no longer looms overhead, and Kairos' conquest of the tiers seems to be slipping, what with the armies in civil war. I would counsel you to do just that. I'm sure the events of Vendrian's Well are best explained from your mouth to Tunon's ears. Furthermore, I'd guess the Archon of Justice would want to know your take on the Archons and their divide. My first suggestion would be to build a boat. Something durable, and take our chances on the high seas far from Kairos. I have a second and more practical suggestion. Look to the horizon and slightly up. By that I mean the other spires. We should see what's atop the others. Otherwise someone else might look first. Not nearly enough, apparently. To me, they've always been axioms of navigation. You can triangulate a lot of things with the sextant and a clear view to a spire or two. We've long known the spires radiate strong magical fields, and all save the mountain spire connect to the old walls. So it's the sort of thing common folk know from afar, but avoid day to day. Well, short of Tunon giving you orders on pain of death, you have the luxury of acting on your own volition. Though the Disfavored are likely to come for you. Whatever you decide, I'm at your disposal.
Alright, and let me do one other thing. Equip. Maybe her with anything. What are your skills? Bows, dual wield, magic staff, way ahead of everything else. Yeah. Control grave light. Determines a character's ability to draw and control spells that use the sigil of Taratus. Control lightning, and then best in tide casting. Okay. And we have the Spire Rest bonus right now, so we have +5 to all skills. Sweet. Now, let's get a move on. We've already been down to Ascension Hall, so let's go down to Vendrian's Well Citadel. See where we can go from there.
Right.
The walls now have my flag hanging from the sides. Let's loot this. Loot this cart. It's totally on my land. It's on this cart is mine now. This fruit I claim for the dominion of the spire. The lord of the suggestive vertical slab. Same with this cheese. Alright, looks like we just loot this cart and get out of here. Yeah, I think I still need you in dodge stance. I don't have any other melee characters. A fine great axe, I believe. And let's alter my party stance. Go like that. I guess we really need to find another melee character. I mean, I could transform into a melee character, but I also like using my thrown weapon. Oh, I clicked this button. It's the world. So I can either go to the Sunset Spire or the Bastard City. Don't have anything else opened up to me. This is the Blade Grave. That's where the disfavored are at. And this is the Cacophony. This is where the Scarlet Course is at. I guess the purple on the map indicates disfavored territory, and the red indicates Scarlet Course territory. And this is neutral, I guess. Let's go ahead and go to the Bastard City, to Tunon's Court. 2 days and 12 hours. That's cool, the night and day effects on the map as you travel. So this is getting to the part of the game that I've never seen before, so this should be a surprise for all of us. Unless you've already played the game before. My unarmed combat went up as we traveled. Let me talk to this lady Lucretius here. Oh, greetings. Anda Lucretius, formerly of Thistleholm. You have the look of someone who belongs here. A fate binder, no doubt? Do you need something from me? This just looks like lore. Fate binders. Tunon. That's who I need to talk to.
You call yourselves officers of Kairos' army, but your conduct falls short of my expectations. The court finds your accounts of Vendrian's Well lacking, rife with misdirection and fallacy, fouled with baseless accusation.
Your Honor, I've relayed the events as I experienced them. You can well imagine why my version conflicts with his. Oh, my Honor, and on that of the great general, I would sooner snap my sword than perjure myself before you, Archon. Oh, so you simply imply that falsehood comes easier to my lips than yours? You're a fool if you believe the Archon of Justice won't see you through your lies because the disfavored think themselves better than an honest gang.
Silence. The contradictions in your statements will be examined, and falsities threshed from truths. If we find you have perjured yourselves, Bled and Mark will see to your fate. Fatebinder, we will start with the matter of the Archons. Graven Ash and the Voices of Nerat have declared war upon each other. In addition to violating Kairos' peace, they have thrown the conquest of the Tears into disarray. By all accounts, these hostilities began shortly after your arrival. Tell us what transpired.
The disfavored were more deserving of the honor. Our tactics and training outmatched the Vendrian Guard at every turn. What, Baldur asked? The disfavored couldn't tip over a straw hut if they had a week to strategize. Our howling mob was better equipped to overwhelm the Vendrian Guard. Our recruits were ready to throw themselves at the enemy if only Ash and his legion would agree to a plan.
The Fatebinder presents testimony. I warn you both against speaking out of turn. Something more than a mere disagreement unraveled this campaign. But I will return to that in time. Let us speak of Ascension Hall. From all accounts, it would seem you were instrumental in its capture, or so the petitioner of the Scarlet Chorus testifies. The disfavored commander has a dimmer view of the matter. Lend me your perspective.
I mean, I kind of don't see this as a lie. I did all the work. I went behind the wall to kill the dudes who were making the shield, and then they blasted it open, but I could just open the door. And then I killed all the dudes inside. I killed all the dudes, and they just fought the disfavored on the outside. I did all the work. But I don't want to lie to this guy. He seems like he might be able to see through lies, so anything that says lie, I'm not going to say.
The edict meant certain doom if the siege failed. So why, when your survival depended on it, did you join your strength to the Scarlet Chorus and not the elite disfavored?
Petty squabbles clouded Graven Ash's judgment. He was too mired in assaulting the Voices to conquer the Citadel properly. Or the Voices of Nerat was willing to win the Citadel at any cost. Ash values his army more than his duty to Kairos. Did I have a third option that it was just like the Voices' argument that he had more men, and Ash's army, 2/3 of it was outside the walls, was my deciding factor. But I think number 2 lines up the most. For a long while, the adjudicator hovers in silence, shadows trailing from below his robes.
I will consider this testimony at length. The court thanks you for it. Is there anything you wish to add at this time? Your testimony is accepted by the court. The statements of our guests raise questions in my mind. There is much about this campaign that has caused me to wonder. A shipment of iron weapons was short on arrival. Where coveted iron is concerned, I don't believe it to be a clerical error. One of my agents recovered this seal in Echo Call. It belongs to a merchant collective. Lethian's Crossing is teeming with their kind. If you would root out treachery, I would advise starting there. Petitioners, leave us. I would have a private audience with the Fatebinder. Ascend and join me. You will find the way opened.
Let me get rid of these. Speak with him privately. I'm certainly glad that they have us running through here, so I don't have to wait as they walk. But it is a little weird. Like, everyone's big on decorum, and we're just waltzing through here with our weapons and just running around everywhere. Can I talk to you, please? There we go.
This civil war, this feud, is an insult to Kairos' peace. It should not have taken the better part of a year to silence the last vestiges of the Oathbreakers. Our allies squabble while our enemies regroup. It falls upon the court to measure the extent of the damage, and to execute the agents of disorder. I suspect that treachery, negligence, disunity, and greed have infected one or both of our esteemed allies. Until you are instructed otherwise, this matter is the court's primary focus. Graven Ash and the Voices of Nerat must be examined in close detail. You are charged with observing the Archons and presenting your case that one of them has wrought chaos and disorder upon the tiers. As always, you will be held accountable for what you do in the court's name, but you are free to conduct your investigation in the manner of your choosing. You must expect lies, misdirection, and manipulation. Suffer not such obstructions of justice. They say the Voices of Nerat holds you in higher regard than most. Use this alliance to enter his confidence. It seems unlikely the Archon of Secrets is more honest with friends than with rivals. But to his friends, he has been known to divulge much. The disfavored will likely be less cooperative with your investigation. They will no doubt assume Graven Ash's honor is beyond reproach, which is all the more reason to scrutinize the Archon of War closely. And if the ironclad forces discourage your inquiry, I charge you to make them talk. Speak their language of battle if you must. Your fellow Fatebinders have been busy acting as my eyes and ears. I have a few leads for you to follow. You should, of course, speak with your brothers and sisters of the court if you need further counsel. The disfavored have made use of the Sage's network of dovecoats and messenger birds as they come under capture. I've heard multiple claims of strategic communications gone missing. The Sages are broken, their citadel in flames, but they were not slaughtered to the last. Some of their numbers still congregate around the smoking husk of their burning library. If they have been reading disfavored communications, learn what they learned, then execute them. There is a final matter to discuss. A sensitive topic. In spite of the many shortcomings at Vendrian's Well, you managed to make a name for yourself. You proclaimed an Edict of Kairos, resolved its demanding conditions, and ascended the mountain spire. Any one of these feats would be worthy of recognition by the highest authority. You managed to accomplish 3. It pleases me that you grasp your role, as long as you temper it with a sense of duty. Whether by design or by accident, you have captured the attention of Kairos' army and the local tiersmen alike. This is no small opportunity, and the court charges you with exploiting your new standing to its fullest potential. You have a title in our hierarchy. However, it's a little-known secret that one's standing in the world is determined by their infamy, their deeds, and how they come to be known. Mind this notion as you bring justice to this lawless frontier. There may come a time when your deeds speak for you louder than any title. If your killing spree in the bastard city is any indication, you are no stranger to spreading infamy already. Whatever you did to capture the attention of the masses at Vendrian's Well, I would encourage you to do so again. Good. It falls to us to set a new standard for these southern barbarians. You are dismissed. Should the court have need of your presence, you will receive word. Go forth and do my bidding, and bring glory and honor to the tiers in Kairos' name.
Well, all right. We're going to call it an episode right there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Tell me, where do you think Tunon's legs are? Does he still have legs? Does he have just really short legs that are underneath his cloak? Does he have like one really long leg and one really short leg? Is he constantly in a sitting position like Yoda on that little floating thing? And where does smoke come from? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.